Hey everyone, Dr. Troy Dukowitz here, and here we are. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. We're talking about the multiple appointment policy, or the appointment policy that you have in your practice. This is going to cover two things. One, your appointment policy, and two, making multiple appointments. Now, why is this so important? Well, it helps to increase accountability and commitment from your patients. Think about this. If you're scheduling people at 3 times a week for 4 weeks or 8 weeks, okay? If I throw that care plan out to them, but I'm only scheduling them a week at a time or a visit at a time, I'm not future pacing them for additional visits in the office. In fact, it's almost like a one-off. You're going visit by visit by visit. That gives them more of an opportunity to look at the individual short-term results as opposed to the long-term vision that we have for their health and well-being. So we want to create that commitment and the accountability. And what we all know is, and I think personally, I think of her name as Carol, and still to this day, she carries those little day planners. You know those real little day planners, and it's got the little square boxes for the days of the week in it. And to this day, she still carries that thing. She does not use digital for her scheduling, but she writes her appointment in every other week on a Wednesday, every other week on a Monday. She literally does this every time. She has for over 10 years. It's crazy, but she follows through. This woman doesn't miss an appointment. And this is the way she's done it since the first day that I met her, as she will go through. So when it comes to multiple appointments back in the day, when we first started her in her care, she would literally write them in her count. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. She'd write them through. She would write down a little RE for reevaluation. But the thing is that when she's inking it, what is she doing? She's committing. She's committing herself to her care. She's also holding herself accountable. We can only do so much. At the end of the day, you have to hold yourself accountable to the agreements and the commitments that you've made in your life. And so she would write these down, and they were in her schedule. And this woman has barely missed an appointment over the course of 15 years. And if she did, she'd call. Why? Because it was in her planner. So we want to make sure that we are making multiple appointments, and we want to have an appointment policy. Now, some people frown on this, but yet you can go to the medical doctor or the dentist. They have no problem frowning on it. I can go to the eye doctor. No problem having this type of a policy, which basically says, and you have to determine it. You have to determine if the appointment policy is make up an appointment in 7 days. You have to determine if somebody cancels within 24 hours, or they need to cancel within 24 hours, and anything inside of that, they're going to be charged for. This is solely on you. But why do people do this? They do this because they want to increase the value of the adjustment. They do this because they want to increase the accountability of the individual, the discipline of the individual to show up for their appointments. So you don't get that person who takes you for granted from an appointment standby, and they never show up on time. They're always late. They miss appointments and don't care and don't call. Those people exist. Now, they might not be a bulk of people that you see in your practice, but it helps people to understand that you value that time. It helps them to understand how important it is to honor the commitments that they've made by showing up. It also honors other people in your practice. What if you literally were booked 5 across at 3:15 and you got Mary, who just really needs to get in at 5 o'clock, one of those people at 3:15 today, but you can't, you're booked. Mary, we can try to get you in if you want to come in a little bit earlier. We might be able to make it work out, or 3:30. Would either of those work best for you? You never want to say no to somebody. And she says, no, I really need that 3:15 time. I can't get there earlier, and I need to be out by 3:30. You're going, well, crap, we're screwed. We can't pull that off. And then all of a sudden, 3:15 rolls around and 2 people, they don't call. They don't let you know. They just don't show up. So again, these are optional for you. You can have, like, in terms of like a 24-hour notification, whatever it is, notification, that's optional for you. But what I will tell you is not optional is making up the appointment. Why is it important to make up the appointment? You make up the appointment because it helps keep you on track. If you're supposed to be working out 3 days a week and you miss one workout, you've actually missed a third of your workout. So what do we want? We want consistency. We want the commitment. So we want you to make up that appointment within 2 days, within 24 hours, within 7 days. That's a part of the appointment policy. hey, if you're going to have to miss an appointment, maybe you don't charge them, but you make it known that you require a 24-hour notification. We understand things come up. We understand shit happens in your life, but we require a 24-hour notice. If something happens outside of the norm, just let us know. You're trying to get them to hold themselves accountable, be respectful of your time, and make the call. If you don't have an appointment policy at all, then people don't know the rules of appointments in your practice. They just don't know. When it comes to makeups, I love it. I think of another Carol, not the same one, a different Carol, who I love her because she's going on a vacation for a week, and she'll say to me, so look, do you want me to come in twice this week or twice the week after I get back? Like, she's been trained over the course of 15 years that she's supposed to make up her appointments. And so she does. It's a beautiful thing when this is a part of your culture, is to have an appointment policy and follow it. So now you get people who are staying on track with their care. They're more compliant with a care plan. And again, their results go up. And it also increases the likelihood of them staying around longer. If you're doing your job from an educational standpoint, it's going to help them to have more certainty in chiropractic, and it's going to increase the amount of time that they stay as a result of, 1, the results that they get, 2, the commitments that they've made, and 3, the education that you have given them along the way. So I want you to make sure that you understand this. We're talking about an appointment policy, how important it is to have an appointment policy. Then we go from the policy into the multiple appointments. And you should be making multiple appointments for people. Again, it future paces them. So you're going to have multiple appointments for new patients. You're going to have multiple appointments for your reevaluation people. You're going to have these things already in the schedule. And then you have what I like to call basically your repeat offenders or your frequent flyers. Those are people who they never want to make an appointment, but they always end up calling you and coming on Wednesday at 3. Just putting them in the calendar anyway. And so even when they call, you've already got it taken care of. They're in the schedule. And then if they don't come in on that day that they typically do, it now gives you the opportunity to call them. And it's a reminder. Hey, you know what? We just wanted to see if you were on your way in today. We had you down for 3 o'clock. Now, some people might go, well, I never made that appointment. I'm out of town this week. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I had you down. So I had you down. We typically see you then, so I went ahead and put you in. I apologize. I won't let it happen again. Right? But typically they're not upset with you when you do something like that. It's a great way for you to be reminded to contact that person. When it comes to reevals, multiple appointments are so key and so critical. And you get this information over on the membership site. I'm giving you an overview of things that you need to be thinking about and considering before we move forward. All right. So then we look at like reevaluations. Man, the first time we ever did this for a reevaluation, making multiple appointments, literally wrote the multiple appointments on the person's reeval without asking them. And I can tell you that 100% of the time, people were excited about it. Not 99, not 99.8. They were excited about it. Why? Because we took into consideration their pattern of how they were getting adjusted. And we said, okay, wow, Monday, Wednesday, because sometimes they have to miss Wednesday, so they had to reschedule. So we'll have Monday, Wednesday, and then that way, if they need the extra day of the week, they have Thursday. Because if they have to reschedule Thursday in our office, Monday through Thursday, they're not going to have another day to be seen until Monday. So you might put them in Monday, Wednesday, and you do it all the way for up to the next reevaluation. And people are thrilled about it because they don't have to ask about it. They don't have to do anything. They're like, okay, cool, this works for me. Or if it doesn't, just let us know. And then you have multiple appointments as a new patient. Well, and there's a reason I'm going backwards. If you want to create patients who are constantly coming in at the same time, if you want to create patients who have no problem getting their reevaluation, having you already put their appointments down, if you want to get those types of patients in your practice, then you go back to the number one, and that is new patients. When they come into the office and they get their report of findings and it's time to schedule their appointments, you schedule them out. If you typically schedule people 12 visits, schedule them 24 visits. You can always remove a visit if they move up in care. If you schedule people out typically 5 or 6 visits, 12 is the bottom line. Like, that is the bare minimum. Schedule out 12 visits to their reevaluation. Make those multiple appointments. Get them in the books, and it helps people to understand and see the commitment that's involved to get the results. It has these reserved times that are theirs in the schedule so they can come in, get adjusted, and continue about their day. So this is essentially an overview here for you of the appointment policy. We want 2 desired outcomes from this. We want to have an actual appointment policy. So we want to define what that policy is. And in our office, you even have to sign it that you understand what the appointment policy is. So you understand about making multiple appointments. You understand about if you have to miss an appointment. You understand about making up an appointment. It's all on your appointment policy. Then number 2, making multiple appointments. And if we're making multiple appointments, we start to future pace the patient, and we actually set them up for success. And that's what all this is about. If you look at the appointment policy, setting them up for success, accountability, commitment, and results. Hey, bookend it. Success and results. Doesn't everybody want that? Of course they do. So now take this information, digest it, talk about it with your team. Then if necessary, roll on over to the membership site where you can go ahead now and you can actually pull down each individual area so you can define these in your practice so we can plug them in immediately. All right, 3, 2, 1, off you go.